Good morning, intuitives. Wanted to get a video out this morning before I head off to my 6-month evaluation with my psychiatrist, which is, if any of you have ever been in therapy for various reasons, I'm in for PTSD. You know the story, the articles are up there, but that's a pretty common thing when you're receiving psychological treatment for anything. I go to therapy once a week. I'm not on any medications, at least not as of yet, and I don't think I'd be too receptive to that, but I suppose time will tell. I wanted to do a video, especially with thinking about psychiatry. This is going to be more towards narcissism. Again, like everything I say, it's from the point of view of an INFJ male, but this applies to everybody because anybody can be a victim of a narcissist. INFJs are one of the more common targets. ENFJs are the most common target. So again, ENFJs, stick around. What I want to talk about today is the narcissist's main tool, and therefore it deserves its own video. If you've been in contact or a victim of or targeted at all by a narcissist or forced to work with one, any situation where you're around the narcissist, be it romantically, workplace, family, what have you, you will have encountered this, and as recently as 10 years ago, it wasn't really understood, but it is their number one tool to manipulate people and make you doubt yourself. I, of course, am speaking of gaslighting. Gaslighting and narcissism go hand in hand. Narcissists are renowned for being highly manipulative, controlling individuals who lack empathy. Gaslighting is their perfect way to control other people. Given that many narcissists often have delusions of grandeur and often resort to pathological lying in order to protect their own fragile egos, they need a tactic where they can manipulate not just their targets but flying monkeys and subject them to their will. Oftentimes people won't just give in to their will, and they have to use tactics of manipulation in order to get their target to doubt themselves, to make them feel like they have no choice, to make them feel like they can't say no, and to simply fall in line with the narcissist's grand machinations. Again, a narcissist doesn't love you. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist early on, and you think that person truly loves you, they are using you. They are love bombing you. You are useful to them at the time, perhaps for your wealth, perhaps for your influence, perhaps to get to other people through you. Perhaps you're just a piece of arm candy, a trophy, a conquest, a notch in the bedpost. But in time, very often in less than a year, they will reveal their true nature to you, and you will know, as anyone who has been involved with a narcissist in any way will eventually find out, that you are just a pawn to them. A narcissist only loves one person, themselves. Only their own reflection stared back at them, which they view as perfection. Narcissists view themselves as perfection, in perfection made flesh. Especially boomer narcissists. That's like another level. It's like white male privilege. That's up there. Baby boomer white male privilege is taking it to a new level. Alright, so gaslighting refers to a situation in which you are forced to question your own reality. For instance, if you're being told you're over-exaggerating to a situation, it's not that bad, just go along with the program, you can do it, oh, you're okay with doing that, that's not going to upset you, you're fine with that. Things like that. That'll make them question your own boundaries, for example. A narcissist will always try to push your boundaries, and through use of gaslighting will get you to cross those boundaries. Many times the victim will go along with it, thinking that it's, in the instance of, I can't say no, I can get through this one time, and it'll get me to where I want to be, and I won't have to do it again. But no, when a narcissist gets you to break a boundary, they try to get you to do it all the time, over and over and over again. They get off on it. So there's many common reasons why a narcissist will use gaslighting. A lot of these will sound familiar to a lot of people. Most of them are ripped from my own life. So as I said, it's an effective tool to gain control of any kind. Use your intuition. Sometimes they'll use gaslighting to take the higher ground by never admitting they're wrong. They'll try to place blame on their victim, try to say that you're misinterpreting what they expect out of you, what they're trying to get you to do. Now, they know how sleazy and manipulative they are, but A, they can never admit they're wrong, and B, they have no problem of just blatantly lying all the time. Another one is they will make you feel bad about yourself. They will make you feel bad for not going along with what they want to do, for you having boundaries, for you standing up for yourself, for you saying no. They will make it seem like everything is riding on you doing this. And if you don't go along with the plan, it's going to affect so many people, possibly ruin their lives, and that's on you. That old tactic. Work all those hours. Spray that illegal chemical. We have a tournament coming. You know, yes, I know mercury was outlawed in the early 90s, but spray that chemical. All of these jobs are depending on it. Don't die. You know, right to the brain. Mercuric sulfide is quite the neurotoxin. So they will also try to convince other people that you're the one who's wrong, that it's unrational you saying no. Like, everybody goes along with this, that this is what you signed up for. Gotta put your time in, is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do. In other words, to normalize, especially in a workplace situation, you doing something that's either, exploitative, illegal, dangerous as all hell, that they can't make you do. They will try to make you feel as if you must do this, your career will be over, and this is something everybody just has to do. It's what you signed up for. It's part of the game. It's part of the culture, especially in paramilitary organizations. Gaslighting fits in with the capacity of lying. They'll blatantly lie to you about you not being able to say no, make it seem like it'll be the end of the world if you do. So gaslighting is an effective way to attack the core of who you are, attack you as a person, what you value, what you hold dear, how you view yourself, how you want to be viewed, what you're comfortable with, your entire self. And they do this by potentially making you more willing to do what the narcissist wants, and they want you to become dependent on them. So, in other words, the narcissist will keep having you break your boundaries until you do exactly what they want, and then they'll try to make you feel as if you continuing down the path you want is reliant on you continuing to break those boundaries over and over and over again in a never-ending cycle. That this ties into my Be the Edge of the Coin video, where I talk about, from my own personal experience, how when you can be put in an impossible situation, do you curse fate, do you embrace fate, or do you seek a third option? Do you seek free will and attempt to actually destroy the very system that puts you in that position, which very few people do? It does occur from time to time. I've made mention of a few people, who I admire, who were put in those situations, spoke out about it, and became, as I said, the edge of the coin. But that is very rare. Wish it was more common. So if you've been on the receiving end of a lot of gaslighting, as I have, it is easy to assume that the gaslighter is a narcissist, and almost always it will be. But, understand that gaslighting is learned behavior. A lot of people that use gaslighting as a tactic were raised by a family or in a culture that was very narcissistic. And while it's, possible that somebody raised in this environment may not become a narcissist themselves, they'll have so many narcissistic traits above the norm that they will continue to use those tactics and see it as if they're doing nothing wrong, as that's just, quote, par for the course. Gaslighting's tough to detect sometimes. Obviously, if you're listening to narcissistic abuse channels like mine and others that are, more professionally done and get way more people listen to them, you know what it is. But if you know nothing about narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, cluster B personality disorders, you're going in blind, and you may not see the true motives behind gaslighting. At its core, gaslighting is a tactic to use you to do the narcissist bidding, by getting you to doubt yourself, to doubt your perception of reality, to doubt the situation that's going on, to make you them they want to make you feel as if you're being paranoid and irrational, and what they're asking you to do is completely reasonable, and you're out of your mind for not just going along with it because it is what it is and you must do it and it's no big deal kind of thing. Tying this in with INFJs and ENFJs, remember, they know about our intuition, at least on a subconscious level. They know we can see through them, and they have to do everything they can right off the bat to get us to doubt our own intuition and to not listen to it and doubt themselves. So they want to make us rely on them, to make us feel like they're looking out for us, when in truth they are exploiting us, using us for their own game, for their own gain. That is what gaslighting is all about. That is why it is the narcissist's number one tactic, because they can do it covertly. They can make it seem as if they're trying to help you, whereas overt rage, everybody can see what that is right away. So beware of what gaslighting is, understand what it is, and remember, if you feel like you're being gaslighted, trust your intuition, and don't sell out your integrity to any narcissist, no matter what they're offering. Very rarely is it ever worth the cost, and very rarely will the abuse cycle end with just you crossing your boundaries one time.